Hello everybody and welcome to the Daily Splatt. Today is video number 8 in our series of 20 previewing the English Premier League season 2012 to 2013, and today the team we are looking at is Manchester United. As you are aware, I'm quite partial towards United, but trying to remain as unbiased as possible through all of these. Anyway, here we go. So, Manchester United have confirmed 2 signings so far, busy early in the transfer market to bring in Japanese international Shinji Kagawa from Borussia Dortmund. The central attacking midfield player has also been joined by Nick Powell from Crewe Alexandra, fresh from winning that team promotion into the 3rd division. Powell, the 18-year-old English player, has joined United as well. There's been a couple of players who've exited as well. Just got a little list of them here. We've got a couple of players going out on loan from United. Fabio being one of them. He's gone and joined Queen's Park Rangers for the whole of the upcoming season. So too has Ben Amos, leaving the club on loan. He has gone down a division though. He has gone to Hull City, where Steve Bruce is in charge now, funnily enough. In terms of permanent exits, we've seen young player Paul Pogba confirm that he's gone to Juventus. Park Ji-sung has joined Queen's Park Rangers on a full-time basis, and Thomas Kuszczak has finally left the club as well. So, not too many changes. Oh, Michael Owen, that's the other one, has been released. So a couple of changes, but not too many. It is strongly anticipated that Manchester United will be bringing in more players. Indeed, in recent days they've been linked with Lucas Moura, the talented Brazilian who's playing with the Brazilian Olympic team in the London Olympics at the moment, and also Dutch striker Robin van Persie from Arsenal. But based on the team as it is, which is what you have to do for these predictions, I'd say this United side is definitely a contender for the title. I said yesterday I thought City were the favourites, and I said I thought they were slight favourites, and I would say that, in terms of odds and things of that nature, I'd say that Manchester United are only just a little bit behind them. I mean, they did lose the title on goal difference, and, at one point, I think it was around about March, or end of February, start of March, they were about 6 or 7 points behind City. Then they themselves got as far as 8 points ahead at one point, and then they got dragged back and let it slip, and it ended up going down to goal difference. Now, I do think that this year it's going to be tighter, not tighter than goal difference. I mean, I think it's going to be a closer run thing with other teams. I don't think you're going to see such a wide gap between United and City, and then the likes of Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham, etc. I do think that gap will be closed. However, having said that, it's not going to be, these United and City aren't going to do that well. I do think United can win it, and I do think that they've got a stronger case for winning it than every other team in the league, maybe except City. Some would argue that they do have a stronger case. The fact is, this United team has, on paper, improved from the end of last season, whereas obviously City have yet to add anyone to their squad. You look at United, you add in an exciting, good attacking player like Kagawa, who's got a fair bit of dynamism and can, in pre-season friendlies has certainly shown that he gets into positions quite well, good attacking positions. That could be a very key player for Manchester United. And also the fact is they've got Vidic back. He's been out for 8 months. He's he's going to be fully fit for the start of the season. That's almost a bit like a new signing, really. So I would say that United are in a stronger position now than they were in the final couple of months of the season. That said, not going to go overboard, because there are a couple of issues at Manchester United, namely the centre of midfield. This will probably be Giggs and Scholes' last season. I know a lot have been saying that for the last 2 or 3, and we thought we were right with Scholes a couple of years ago, but then he came back. But looking at it, this will probably be their last season's type thing. Like maybe just maybe they might both go on an extra year beyond this, but United have to face facts that much sooner rather than later, Giggs and Scholes aren't going to be there. And then who does that leave for playing in the centre of midfield? Well, you've got Michael Carrick, who is 30, 31. He's sort of at the peak of his powers. In a couple of years' time, he'll be starting to decline as these things happen, and some people would argue he isn't good enough. I disagree. I'm a big Michael Carrick fan, but I do think that we will need somebody sort of a bit more dynamic than him to improve who we've got in the midfield. Obviously, Darren Fletcher is out long term with his illness, which we're still not sure how that's going to turn out, if he'll even play again. So that's obviously worrying. Anderson frequently injured, and when he has played, more often than not, has failed to impress. So that leaves Tom Cleverley. Yes, he's a good player. He's played pretty okay for Team GB in the Olympics, and when he wasn't injured equally, he was fairly alright. But you look at these midfield options, and it's just kind of they're good midfielders, or they're all good midfielders that have been mentioned, but they're not outstanding midfielders. They're not like a Cesc Fabregas type person, or a Yaya Toure, or someone like that, or even like a Frank Lampard type thing. These are midfielders who tend to get the job done, but often lack that bit of spark, which is, thankfully it's provided elsewhere in the field. United have got very good wingers in Valencia, Young and Nani. Rooney's a great forward. Berbatov offers something a bit special, although he'll probably be leaving. And then you've got Hernandez and Welbeck, who both, very decent finishers type thing. There is creativity in United's team. It's just, it kind of lacks something in the middle. And I've said for a few seasons, Luka Modric is the player that we need. Doesn't look as though that'll happen. He's probably off to Real Madrid by the looks of it. So, if that remains to be seen, possibly Kagawa could drop back. He normally plays a bit more forward, or at least he did for Dortmund and has done for Japan. He could play a bit further back and play alongside Scholes or Carrick or Giggs this season type thing, and then you could have a dynamic forward with the other one, whether it be Carrick or Scholes, just playing in front of the defence, almost as a sort of quarterback, just pinging balls around and seeing what happens. But it remains to be seen what will happen with this side. The point is, it's still a very good side, and United do have a good defence as well. They've got two goalkeepers who I'd say could both potentially be starters. I think Lindegaard certainly is a very confident goalkeeper who could, I reckon, potentially make it if given a chance. However, I think David De Gea really showed in the second half of last season he is a fantastic prospect, and I think he could really mature over the next couple of years and look, become something pretty special. But that remains to be seen. The one other area I think United do need a signing is a fullback, because at the club at the moment there's Patrice Evra at left back and there's Raphael at right back. And that's pretty much it. I mean, Smalling and Jones have both played pretty well at right back in the past for United. You could play the youngster Robbie Brady, who's coming through, as kind of the backup left back. But I kind of just feel with Fabio on loan, maybe they should be looking to get a good left back or right back in there to put a bit of pressure on Evra and Raphael to keep playing well. Otherwise, they may lose their spots, and just for rotation as well. So Leighton Baines has been linked. I personally think that would be a fantastic signing. I like Leighton Baines, but then you've got the difficult balancing act of those two fighting, Baines and Evra fighting out on the left back position, unless you converted Baines to being a right back. But I kind of think that you might as well just get a right back instead. Anyway, so overall, I think United have got a very good chance of winning the title. I'd love to see them win the FA Cup, just because it's been that's the tournament that's been the longest since they've won. In terms of Europe, they've always got a chance. But I don't think for some reason this season it'll be. I think they'll get out the group stage, hopefully, at the very least, and then once they've done that, I think it'll just be see how the injuries are going, see who you get in the next round, just keep plugging away. Potentially, I'd say quarter-finalists, maybe semi-finalists if they're good, but I see them focusing more on the league and hopefully maybe the domestic cups, like I've said, because it's been a bit too long for me since they've won the FA Cup. And I know a load of you will be going, what? But my team's never won the FA Cup type thing. But there you go. It'd just be nice to see them have a good cup run. Anyway, that is all. Tomorrow, Newcastle United is who we'll be talking about. So make sure you stay tuned. I'll talk to you then. And have a nice day. Until then, bye-bye.